Hello, friends. One of the most legendary golf instructors is Harvey Penick from Texas. He wrote a wonderful book called The Little Red Book. In it, he mentioned in one of the very short chapters that he thought a weighted golf club was the way to warm up, and I couldn't agree more. Let's be realistic. It's not always possible to go and hit for a half an hour before you tee off. And so in fact, when I first started playing golf, I hadn't actually seen a driving range until I moved to America. All the very good golfers who were playing at the course where I first learned to play would stand near the first tee waiting for their turn, and they'd go off in the semi-rough and they'd take practice swings and just brush the grass beautifully, uh, leaving a little footprint but not gouging. And that always struck me as the best way to do it. Obviously, my grass is growing a little longer now as we move into the winter. And so this is a perfect example of the kind of grass where you do a practice swing. But back to the weighted club. He recommended a club that would weigh 22 ounces, which uh, makes perfect sense. But the modern equivalent is something that's similar to what you see with baseball players when they're on bat on deck circle. They have these donuts, and I've had one of these for years. The very big key about this is to make sure that you swing slowly enough that you don't do any harm, but to do it regularly. And I would suggest that you can even do it indoors if you can avoid taking a divot out the carpet and hitting the ceiling. I've hit a few ceilings in my time, I must admit. So slow swings are actually stretching and strengthening and familiarizing the right muscles. Now, a couple of details about it. He advocated that you always have something to look at and try to brush with the heavy weighted club. I would suggest indoors you don't do that, although he thought it was still possible. But I would suggest that if it is available to you, that you lightly ground the club with some thicker grass and just brush it. And then the remaining remark I'd make is to, even though it's a little peculiar, is to throw in some left-handed ones too, because although golf is an asymmetrical game and we're swinging always from right to left, I think that just for the sake of your body's maintained health, it's not a terrible idea to do a few left-handed ones as well.